Okay guys, we're going to be adding with unlike denominators, and I'm going to use my overhead projector and talk you through this. So I'm going to add two numbers. For example, I'm going to use the modeling method first. So I'm just going to add a couple of easy ones. I'm going to do let me find a better marker here, 1/2 plus 1/4. Okay, so when I use the modeling method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two boxes, one for the 1/2 and one for the 1/4. And then I'm going to break this one in half, and I'm going to show 1/2. And then in the other box, I'm going to make fourths. And I'll use a different color to show the 1/4. Okay, so what I've basically done and what we've talked about in class, we said that we can't add 1/2 and 1/4 together because they're not equal parts. This orange part is not equal to this blue part, so I can't add them together. So what I have to do is I have to make some equal parts. And the best way that I can make equal parts is for both boxes to be divided into fourths. So now I've got equal parts. Now all I have to do is say to myself, well, what size is this one? And this one, 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 and this one. They're all fourths, right? So now all I have to do to add 1/2 plus 1/4 is to count the number of fourths that I have, which is 1, 2, 3. I have 3 fourths. Okay? So that's the first way that I can do this. Okay? Now, remember we also talked about the algorithm, and so I'm going to show you that part next. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch out. I'm going to use a piece of paper this time. And I'm going to add 1/2, same problem, 1/2 plus 1/4. And I'm going to write it vertically, okay? And then I said my first step was to make my format here, okay? And then, so my first thing I'm going to do is find a common denominator. Which is what I did over here. And I found my common denominator by making the same number of shapes. Okay, so that's my common denominator. I made fourths on both sides. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And remember I said for right now, your common denominator, until we get good at this, will be the larger of your two numbers on the denominators sides. Okay, so this fourth, we're going to make this a fourth and this a fourth. Okay? My second step that we talked about in class today was to multiply across. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 times 1 equals 4. Well, and then if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So if I multiply the denominator by 1, I have to do it to the top as well, the numerator. So 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 equals 4, so I have to do it to the top. Now I can just add my numerator together. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then I add and leave my denominator alone, and I get 3/4. Okay? My third step was to simplify if necessary. But here I don't have to, because I don't have any number that goes equally into 3 and into 4. So I'm done with this one. Also, if this number is like right next door to this one, like 5 and 6, 7 and 8, you'll never have to reduce. Okay? All right, so let's try another one. Bring back my board. So let's try 1/4 4th plus 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to make this into fourths. And that'll be my 1/4. There's my 1/4 plus 1/8. This time I'm going to have to divide each of those in half so that I come up with eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice that I can't add these together because they're not the same. They're not equal parts. So I have to make them so they are. Now I can add. So now how many eighths do I have? 1, 2, 3. So 1/4 plus 1/8 equals 3/8. Now let's see how that's going to look as an algorithm. So I'm going to go 1/4 plus 1/8. Again, I made my denominator the bigger of the two numbers, just for now. Later we'll make it harder. Then I'm going to multiply across times 1 times 1 times 2 times 2. Add them together, I get 3/8. Do I need to simplify? On this one, no. Again, because the only number that I can divide into 3 and 8 is 1. I can't do 2, and I can't do 3 because 3 doesn't go into 8. So we're done with this one too. Okay? All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.